Getting out and finding new customers is one of the toughest and most time-consuming aspects to running a business. What if you could get free leads? What if your customers reached out to you instead of you having to find them? That would be like money knocking on the door, right? Having a Google business profile is one of the best ways to connect with people who are in your area looking to buy what you want to sell. On top of that, Google Business Profile has one of the easiest options to make a free one-page website for your business. Alex is going to walk you through this simple step-by-step process.
Today we're going to talk about Google Business Profile, which is Google's utility to allow you the ability to manage your business on Google searches. Now, Google Profile Manager is specifically designed for businesses with a single location or no location at all. And businesses that have multiple locations will instead continue to use what is referred to as Google Business Manager, which has basically the same fundamental interface. So most of what I'm going to say here will still be applicable to that, but just be aware that what I am talking about here is Google Business Profile. Now, in order to begin, we have to search for the location of our business. The business that we are going to be setting up doesn't have a location listed in Google yet, but if it did, there would be a button here to say claim this location. But we want to go to Maps. This is where it would say claim this business, but we are starting a new one, so we're clicking add your business. And what we're doing here is setting up, as an example, my father's insurance company. And now we have to give it a business category. And you can see as we begin typing, it autofills with several suggestions. We want to pick the one that is closest match to what we are doing. We can add more later, but this will be our primary attribute. Now, this is fairly self-explanatory. If this was a storefront or an office someone could just walk into, we would want to pick yes here. But in this particular case, he has a home office, and people showing up to his home office will be by appointment only, so I'm going to select no here. Now we want to tell Google what area we service, and Google ranks results based on the proximity to the customer. So we actually want to be specific here if we can. But in the particular case of the business we're setting up here, he services the entire Chicagoland area. I've added a few more here just so that we have a little bit better spread of the areas that he does cover. And we do need to add a phone number here. And in this particular case, we don't have a website yet, so I'm going to hit I don't have a website. But if you do have one, you can put it here. And one of the things that Google does for Google Business Manager is they verify that you do in fact own the business in question by mailing you a postcard with code on it. As it says here, the address will not be visible to the public. This is just for verification purposes. And now we've told it where to send the postcard. It's telling us the postcard will be on its way and arrive in about 5 days. Because earlier we said that our primary service was life insurance agency, now giving us a list of likely options. In the particular case of a life insurance agency, it's only offering customized policies. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few extras now. So we need to tell Google what our business hours are. Here we can add messaging to the website. This allows customers to contact you directly through the Google Business Profile. Next, we need to add a business description. This section is not for Google's search engine optimization. This is for customers to read it so that they know what your business is. Here, really what we need to do is try to sell the business to a person. And here we want to add some photos so that we can use them on the website we're going to create when we're done with this. For the time being, I have some stock photos I'm going to add. Click here. We can drag them in individually or all as a group. As you can see, all of our photos that we've uploaded are here in the website. We're nearly done with the initial setup. First, what we should do is go to the info section and make sure that all of that is complete. We want to pay attention to this column on the left. It's here we can change the name of the business if we need to, what our primary attribute is. All of these things we want to make sure are as up to date as possible. If you later create your own website somewhere else, you can add it here. Just want to make sure that it will be a suitable place for Google to point to as your primary point of contact. Earlier I mentioned that we wanted life insurance agency to be our primary category. This icon right here will take us to the edit for this, where we can add more categories. And these will be secondary categories. I'm going to go ahead and add a few of these. All right, and now that I've added a few of these, I can move on to the next section. So I'm going to go back to info, scroll back down, and we're going to add some attributes. Now we've added some attributes, we can scroll down, and here's where we can edit our description that shows up on the Google search results. And here, if we want to, we can add an opening date. Having an opening date gives Google some idea of how long you've been open, and customers can see that on the website. Having a history to your company gives customers a sense of trust that you've been around for a while. We can also add more photos down here if we want to. And there's another photos tab over here to the left. Now here in the photos section, we can see that we have to verify for the photos that we're putting here to be posted on Google, but we can still set it up before that. And we'll start with the logo. Ideally, we want to use a square format photo for our logo. I haven't already uploaded one, so I'm going to add one here. And then click Set Logo. And then we should also add a cover image. This will be at the top of the website when it's posted, and it'll be what shows up in the Google Maps search results. So now that we've assigned our logo and our cover photo, what we're going to do is take a look at the posts. So as you can see, this is the post interface. And a good idea is to start with an offer to draw customers in for the first time. We can set these for up to a year, which we can just do by typing in here. So we're going to add a new photo. We could use one from our albums, but I'm going to throw some new in here just to make it a little bit more customized. We want to give it a title. We can hit publish. And then if we want to add more posts, we can click this button here. Come in and create new ones. We can create COVID-19 updates, what's new. Additionally, we can add a button that points to an online booking, the ability to order something, and you can always preview that. Of course, we still need to verify our Google business profile. In order to do that, we have to go to google.com/verify-my-business. When you do that, it will bring you to this. When you have the postcard, it will give you a code. You just type the code into this and click verify. If you haven't received your card, you can just click mail again here, or you can change the method. We still haven't received our card yet, but I just wanted to show you how it's done when we do receive the card. So now that we've come this far, we might have to take a break for a moment. In order to get back to this dashboard, what we have to do is go to Google, and on the profile that we signed up with Google Business Profile with, we Google My Business. You'll see it down here, and that will take us back to the dashboard. Google Business Profile can also create a website for you. It will be a single page and uses the information from your info tab. You want to make sure that that information is all correct and accurate and as complete as possible. If you change the information on your info tab later, it will automatically update to the website. And any posts you make or reviews that you receive on Google will also populate to the website. We get to the website by clicking this website button down here. Now, when you start, there's already a website here. You can see what it looks like from here. It's borrowed some images that we uploaded already, and we can change the themes with this button up here. Now we've changed the theme. You can see it's reflected the whole way down the website. And then we have some edit options here for what it says up at the top of the website. We can change the behavior of this button here. By default, with what we pick, it's get a quote, but we could make it appointment, have it directly message us via text or WhatsApp, or just send us an email. We can change everything else it says up there as well. Now, any reviews you get will be down here in the testimonials section. This will be automatically populated, so you should take a look at what reviews are coming into your website in the reviews tab over here. You should probably also reply to them. Google does pay attention whether or not you're doing that. Now up at the top, you'll see we have an edit icon. So we can change the website that Google has automatically assigned to us. By default, it's the name of the company we gave it, but we can make it anything. We just type in what we want it to become and it change. If we wanted to, Google is also offering us some options for a personalized domain level address. But we're trying to help you keep your startup costs low, so we're not going to do that right now. So what we're going to do is, now that we're happy with this, we're going to hit publish, and we can view the site. Now this is already live. We don't have to do anything else to have this website working. We can share the website, put it on our business card, do whatever we want. Now that the website is published, if for some reason you need to unpublish it, to unpublish it, simply go to more and click unpublish website. It's that easy. Now, if a single page website like this isn't robust enough for your purposes, you can use Google Sites to build a new one. We have a video on how to use Google Sites already, and we'll put a link to it up above. But in order to get there from here, what you go to is Google Apps, then go to Drive, Add New. Under More, you'll see Google Sites. This is a much more robust website builder with some e-commerce tools, multiple pages, that kind of thing. Once you have your business profile set up, if you already have a domain somewhere else set up, you can see it shows up here because it's linked to the Google account. You just click connect, and you can connect a different website instead of one of Google's automatic ones. And I think that about covers it. Back to Valerie.
If your business is in a highly competitive area, then you might want to include a few things in your website that help you to rank in search engine results. Some of these things for a local business would include answering frequently asked questions. You know the ones that almost everyone asks when they contact your business. Those questions are competitive, so get out there and give them a great answer. Like, how much is this going to cost? Well, If the answer is really, it depends, that's a great target for you because it's unlikely that many people want to answer that question. But lots of customers want to know. Give them what the range is, what the average is, and what the factors are that would influence someone moving up or down that range. Another option is to get your website on other directory sites. So get your name, address, and phone number listed on other directory sites along with your website if you can. If you don't know what these are, you can find them on whitespark.ca, and there will be a list there of local directory listings that you can contact to get your information listed. Linking to these sites will also help your website look more authoritative as well as making you more findable on the web. Lastly, treat the post section of your Google Business profile like an Instagram feed. Keep it updated with fresh information and images so that when people are looking for your business, they always find something interesting and there's a little bit of a history there. Take these tips combined with what Alex told you on how to set this up, and you'll be set. For all of you looking to set up a website and start your own business, check out this playlist here for the options on how to set up a website to find the one that's best for you. If you found value in this, don't forget to hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.